The Heroes of Greyhawk is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned. My friends. That wasn't even rehearsed. That was badass, Shelly. That was badass.
I'm here all week.
Yeah. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. My friends, in our last session, the Golden Shears pulled a B&E, gaining an entrance to Felodrin Karst's flat. Now, if you recall, Desmond and his companions had made a deal with a nefarious figure named Zelroth Umbra, an agent of the Black Hand, presumably, an alleged murderer of Desmond's troubled brother named Jack. A deal was to gain intel on Karst and something referred to as the Eye of Twilight. In return, Desmond was promised that his brother would be returned from the dead. With a sense of urgency, the party, now in Verbabonk, infiltrated Karst's flat and began their investigation. Tiptoeing through Karst's luxurious living space, the party discovered signs of a struggle, splatters of blood, and the lifeless body of an unfortunate intruder. To their surprise, they also discovered Luarn the Fox, a smooth-talking roguelike fellow and colleague of Karst's, who'd been looking for his companion in the aftermath of a recent heist, the heist of a cursed painting known as the Eye of Twilight. Luarn revealed that the painting's theft may have been responsible for the recent deaths of the famous Circle of Eight, as well as the death of one of Luarn's companions, Gerald Diamond, who died just by looking at the damn thing. But also the disappearance of Luarn's other companions that were involved in the heist, and ultimately the disappearance of Karst himself. So after a thorough search of the flat, the group found a hidden note with two names on it. Carlin Dieg, the name of a man, and Jewel of Velverdiva, the name of a location. Concerned about Karst and aligned in purpose, at least for the moment, Luarn and the Shears decided to work together. Heading first to the Jewel of the Velverdiva, where Nori and Xanthi schmoozed their way inside for a few drinks and paid the waiter to deliver a note to Dieg's residence nearby. Smart move. They followed the courier late in the night, the party finding themselves standing before the opulent manor, Dieg being a man of obvious wealth. The estate was quiet, dark, and secure, but the two rogues, Desmond and Luarn, successfully gained access through a servant's entrance, looking into a dark hallway beyond which, perhaps, lies at least a few answers to a couple of the questions that you have, quests that you've been chasing down. So now we find ourselves standing, the four of you, before the open servant's entrance at the back of the estate, away from the eyes of anyone who may be milling about at this ungodly hour. The din of the city, sort of a backdrop of ambience. No immediate voices being heard. Inside, it's dark. Those of you without the benefit of dark vision would have trouble seeing inside, so take care and note of that. My friends, with all of this in front of you, what would you like to do?
So what does it look like right inside the door?
Right inside the door, you see a hallway, okay? There is a narrow hallway, and along one edge of this hallway are shelves with what appear to be probably some sort of supplies. It looks like some sort of a storage space. Again, you've sort of taken note that this is the servant's entrance, so it's likely that you're entering into a portion of the estate that is designed for that, whether it is deliveries of goods or storage of foodstuffs. You're not quite sure because you're not inside. It's dark, as I mentioned, but it looks to be some sort of storage, at least as far in as you can see.
All right. Well, Lauren has his goggles on. will allow him to see in the dark. So I'll go ahead, unless anybody has any objections, I'll go in first.
You go. I can see without those though. So if you need me to,
Oh, wow.
if they crack or anything, I'm here
Thank
for
you.
you. Okay,
I appreciate it, Nori. Thank you.
my pleasure.
All right, so you're going to step inside, Lorne?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Lorne is going to have the benefit of these goggles that he wears. Nori having the benefit of dark vision. How about Xanthi and Desmond? What sort of approach are you going to take to be able to see while you're entering this space? If any. You don't need to. You could walk around in the dark.
Well, Dezel, he's a little worried about light right at this moment, so he's gonna get his lantern out and ready, but
What's up, Chris? Okay, you're gonna get it ready but not fire it up. Is that what I heard?
yeah.
I will tell him my SOP is if you've got a lantern, if there's any rooms that we go into that have uncurtained rooms, I'll close the curtains before they come in.
SOP. Got it.
Xanthi will put her hand on Nori's head. Use her to like
Just
help
palm
get
her
through.
little gnomish head.
A walking cane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's very short.
Be sure to check for traps too, because
Yep.
this door was no joke.
Very true. So what is the marching order as you enter? Luarn is heading in first.
Yar.
Nori will go next unless
Okay.
Des wants to muscle his way in front.
Right after Nori, because I'm using her to
You're
see.
touching me. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't touch me.
We're connected.
Okay.
Touch my icon.
So let's do this. Let's have a quick stealth check, group stealth, please.
Happen.
Ericon dice.
Ayo.
I would like to use advantage on my stealth
pretty good.
check.
Okay. I guess this would be a good point to also mention that folks who are watching can help out the party by donating bits to grant advantage to the player or DM of your choice.
The 19 on me. for stealth.
Okay.
24 for Dez.
Good Lord. Okay.
12 on Nori.
17. I'm Nori Shadow.
Nice. Okay. Very good set of rolls. So the lot of you enter into this back entrance. Desmond, you take one last look as you're at the back of the marching order, and you take a peek just to make sure nobody's seen anything. Are you going to pull the door closed behind you or leave it open?
Yeah, he'll pull it closed.
Okay.
Just
All
real
right.
gently.
Yep. Now let's just see if I can make this happen. Oh yeah. So you see as you enter in, indeed, Lorne, at the head of this marching order, you see that you find yourselves in what appears to be a storeroom, possibly a kitchen. At this point, cold and dark.
Yes.
You have yet to breach into the kitchen, but you do see also that there is a room just to the south of you. Not really a room, but kind of a extra pantry, and there is a set of stairs
Goes down.
that goes down.
Now, if I recall correctly, last session you mentioned a portion of the house that had been walled up, like the windows had been walled up.
Yes, that is the
Break over.
window that Xanthi is standing next to. It's been walled up with a bit of plaster.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you want to take a look at it as you pass? You certainly could do that.
Sure. Just because it's unusual. I don't know if that's something just because it's the servant's room or I'll check it out.
Yeah,
They don't deserve sunlight.
that's right.
Is that investigation?
Yeah, let's get an investigation check, please.
Poop. It's only a 10.
Okay. I will tell you this. While it still doesn't make a lot of sense, you do notice that the glass window is gone. Like the pane of glass is not there.
if they needed it for something else. Well, my guess is we want to go up. Yeah?
I think so.
I mean, I'm guessing Krieg lives upstairs, and his carriage is gone, the horses are gone, but there might be a clue as to where he went upstairs.
Or we could find his corpse. You know, like, things aren't looking too good for these guys.
This would be a
Well, if his horses are gone, maybe he got out in time.
maybe.
Or maybe they killed him and stole his horses.
In which case his body would be downstairs, probably.
I mean, do you smell corpse? She, like, takes a big whiff. Do
Give me
I
a-
smell, like,
yeah.
bad rotting?
Let's all sniff for corpse.
Give me a
Oh,
perception
corpse.
check if you are sniffing for corpse.
Roll for corpse sniff.
Yeah.
Right.
I know
18
what
on a
corpse
corpse
smells
sniff.
like.
Is that a perception?
Yes, please. Perception.
Okay. That is a grand total of 7.
Okay.
16. I've smelled a corpse before.
18
You
I've
you have
smelled.
smelled some rotting flesh before. It is true in your adventures, certainly throughout the realms. I will say that you do smell something wafting up the stairs. Unidentifiable, but offensive to the nostrils. Kind of stings the nostrils a bit.
Does it smell like? Oh, I don't know. I haven't smelled anything.
Yeah, you
smell?
didn't really
Acrid?
smell it.
Maybe we should check that out first.
Think something died in the basement.
Something named Dieg, maybe.
No?
Should we check that first?
Since we're here, why
We're
not?
right here.
Okay, you're gonna head down the
I'll-
stairs.
I'll take a turn and start going down the stairs. Check the stairs for any uncomfortable surprises.
Okay, give me an investigation check as you lead the way down the stairs.
Womp womp.
Nori will turn her head first to let Xanthi know that we're turning this way.
Okay.
That's a 5.
5. Okay. As best you can tell in this low light situation. Now remember, with dark vision, it's not like you can see through the dark. It is a gray, monochromatic viewscape for you. For the others, as you look down into the depths of this stairway, it is pitch dark. Nori, same with you. You've got sort of this gray view, but certainly for Xanthi and Desmond, it's just darkness in here. There's a little bit of ambient light that comes in through this window here, but there's not much. So just take note of that as you head down. Now, Luarn, you do not get the sense that there are any traps at this moment as you head down into the
continue to be
what
as
appears to
quiet
be the
as
basement. All right. Yep. I'm going to ask you to give me a stealth roll in just a second, but before you do that, I want to just describe for you the stench as you descend these worn steps. Your senses are assaulted with this like putrid stench that seems to be
Now I smell it.
emanating from downstairs. Yeah, you don't even need a perception check at this point. It's an obvious smell, possibly of death, but certainly of something.
Rotten.
Maybe, yeah,
Carry it.
rotten. Yep, exactly.
No, we're not really good at finding people, but we're really good at finding corpses.
Maybe rotting
This
dinner.
is true.
He hasn't been here for a while.
But
I'm,
why would, they,
Could be.
whispering this, but
why would they have his dinner in the basement?
maybe that's where they keep the stores of stuff. Keep it cool.
It
For a
would
while.
It'd have to be down there for a long time.
Another step down, Xanthi.
Okay.
Okay,
Keep
so
on,
you guys
keep on going down.
descend the stairs. One second here. I'm trying to futz around with something. You descend the stairs, and you find at the bottom of the stairs, there is a pile of refuse. Debris, trash. It seems to have been piled. Now, of course, it's tough for Xanthi and Desmond to see this. You, as you make your way down, you step over the refuse pile, Lorne, and continue past it, because as you can barely see through this gray viewscape is a hallway that continues forward.
Is this refuse like it was tossed down the stairs? Like, is that where it's kind of sitting?
Do you want to investigate? Yeah, give me an investigation check.
7.
It possibly. It looks like if you were to look back at the stairs do not appear to be cluttered with debris. So it looks like it was intentionally piled here.
Is this like kitchen scraps or meat or?
There's definitely chunks of meat and bone.
Well, not stepping in it if I can avoid it.
You could step over it if you wanted to. You don't have to walk right through it.
Okay.
But that's up to you.
It's pretty obvious this is where the smell's coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's real spicy down here.
So this pile of debris, this wouldn't maybe be like if some large creature ate something and then left these remains, would it?
Are you asking that of your companions?
No.
Your
I'm
DM?
asking the DM.
Without being able to see, it's really hard for Xanthi to know. It smells disgusting.
Could Nori, with her dark vision, look a little closer at like the bones and see if there's like teeth marks or if it's
sure,
obvious that a creature has eaten it?
I'll say this: you already rolled an investigation check, unfortunately, and it was pretty low, so hard to tell. It looks like, thank you, Scottish Jeff. One for everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're the best.
You are the best. Hey, one for me even.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're not
Thanks,
the best.
Jeff. Thanks, Jeff.
Need that?
How dare you?
You want a refund on that one?
Okay. So I will say this, Nori. It was a low roll, so you really didn't get a whole lot of intel, but it looks like potentially some of the bones were snapped and broken.
Oh, well, that's informative. Okay.
Yep. And then beyond the refuse pile is a hallway that continues on. And Lorne, as you step over the refuse pile and continue a few extra feet in, you can see that it ends in a dead end, just a stone wall. There is an unlit sconce on the wall, and that's about it.
That's not, doesn't seem like that's the whole basement there, does it? The whole cellar.
Should I start looking?
I'll start looking at the walls, investigating, looking for secret doors.
No, you're skilled in this sort of thing, looking for secret doors and the like. So why don't you go ahead and give me an investigation roll with advantage, and tell me how you're investigating.
Just sort of feeling you said it's a stone wall.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of feeling where that where the hallway sort of ends at that wall. I'll start there and sort of make my way along, and sort of feeling along the mortar cracks. Maybe feeling for air or anything that unusual.
Okay.
It's a 16 investigation.
Okay. You run your hands along the cold stone surface, and you can feel as though there is a little bit of draft coming through. And as you sort of feel that draft of air, you can start to make out that there's a bit of like a seam almost, as if perhaps there's a secret door.
Well, that's what I thought. This is not what it appears to be. Somebody did this on purpose. And let's see if there's a way to open it.
Should we listen for growling first?
That's a good
Something
idea.
snap those bones.
But it's on the other side of the fence. I wonder if they the bones are on this side, but if it's on that side, then maybe it has a way of coming out, or maybe something
maybe it
needs to
has
let
a
it out.
keeper. Yes.
Maybe it has a keeper, or had a keeper. There's nobody in here, as far
It
as I
had a
can tell.
keeper. It ate the
Bones
keeper.
were the keeper.
Oh, the keep.
Oops.
Maybe we shouldn't open this.
If there was just a way to open it a crack and look inside.
Does it open or like are we have to break it open?
So what are you trying to figure out? There's been a lot of good questions here. Let's break it down. What do you, Luarn, you're sort of at the front of the line. It's a narrow hallway, you know, but you can all kind of jostle in there. It's about 5 feet wide. You found that this wall has a bit of a draft coming through it. What is your next step at this point?
Looking to see if there's a latch of any kind or any place to be able to grab onto it.
Okay.
Where the draft's coming through.
And is anyone else looking or assisting, I would say?
Yeah, I'm on a latch search too.
Okay, so roll an investigation check with advantage as you're being helped by Nori.
While this is happening, I would like to listen to make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check, please.
All good, guys.
It's an 18 investigation.
Okay.
I got a 10.
So, first of all, Xanthi, you don't hear anything. It's really quiet down here. You maybe hear Desmond's stomach grumbling a little bit, but you don't hear any voices. You don't hear any, you know, snarling yet or anything of that nature.
I said yet.
Luarn and Nori, while you're kind of searching for any sort of a mechanism, Luarn, you get a sense and you look up over where Nori is just about to search around this sconce that's on the wall.
Ah.
And you can see that there is some sort of a scrape on the stone next to the sconce.
All right. Well,
as if something has moved across it multiple times.
That might be it. That's sconce.
Okay. Should we get ready? Do you want me to pull it?
I mean, I don't think we're gonna like what we find on the other side of this door.
We need to know, though, right? What we find. I feel like we need to know.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, like no matter where we go, it's never like rainbows and puppies.
True. Oh. And if it is, they're dead puppies. Dead rainbows.
And evil rainbows.
Aren't much fun.
Okay, so are we ready? Countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I suppose so.
Go.
I'll pull it down.
For a brief moment, you sort of hold your breath as Nori turns the sconce just like this. It scrapes along the wall, and you see the stone wall just open slightly as if it has been unlocked.
All right. Nice and easy. Open it nice and slow. See, listening the whole time.
Is it open enough to peek in first?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can push it open a little bit and peek through. It's just darkness.
Okay.
You push it all the way open?
We'll step back for Luarn to take care of it.
Got it. No problem. Yeah, I will push it all the way open.
Okay. You push it open, and with your dark vision, you can see that the hallway continues for another, I don't know, 25 feet or so. And at the far end, there is what appears to be a metal door.
Ooh.
Like an iron door, almost like a cell door.
All right, so we got some 2-tier security on this thing. I don't know if we want to open that door.
Do you think it's a prison or a panic room?
Right, it could be a cell.
Are there bones or is there gore or anything on the floor here?
Yeah, look for any offal on the floor.
Yeah, you don't see anything. It actually appears as though this area behind the secret door is fairly well kept. Certainly doesn't have refuse like the other. Maybe someone cleans up. Who knows? But that refuse pile does not extend into this secret hallway that you've just discovered.
I'm looking up. What's the ceiling look like here?
Stone. as if this was intentionally a cellar of some kind, perhaps. I'll say this. You've spent enough time rubbing elbows with some of, the occasional wealthy merchant or estate owner that you would know that oftentimes the families have either a crypt for their loved ones or, maybe a treasure hoard where they keep valuables. I mean, this would not be the first time you have searched a dungeonous area for valuables.
You know what I like to keep under my house? A crypt.
A nice crypt.
It's very normal.
It was all the rage in like 500, CY back in the Flanness. A wine cellar on one side and coffins on the other side.
My dead relatives right over here where I can see them.
You can pour one out for them right there. Very convenient.
Exactly.
All right. Proceed cautiously down the hallway.
Okay. And when you say cautiously, what do you mean by that?
I'm looking for any triggers on the floor, any traps, or anything that might be cleaning this place, like a slime or a horrible creature that we haven't thought of yet.
Okay. When you get to the door, you stop, about a foot from the door, looking, being cautious. You look down, having gotten a little bit of a sense of what some of these precautions are that these people have taken, especially on the upstairs entry and some of your other experiences. You quite easily spot a fine piece of thread that is fastened to the north wall at about a foot above the floor, so about shin high. And it is strung. It's strung to the other side of the wall, and then goes through a crack between the door and the wall itself, and disappears on the other side. You get the sense that this is some sort of an alarm trap.
Mm-hmm. I pointed out to everybody. Watch. Does this door that I'm looking at have any? You said it's an iron door.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have any like a porthole or a window? Or anything like
no windows, no bars, nothing. It's just an iron door.
Does it have a handle, lock?
It has a lever, just a turn lever, like latch.
And that has no lock on it?
Nope.
Okay.
And it does pull inwards. So the idea is that someone might come in, pull it open, and trigger the trap. What's up, Stronghold D&D? Welcome in. Great to see you. Awesome hanging out with you at GaryCon.
Well, that's certainly something. All right, can we open it up just a little bit?
Oh, thank you for the gift subs. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support. That's very kind of you, very generous. If you were to open the door at this point, it would sever this trap.
Okay.
So you would need to probably, if you're going to proceed farther into this area, you're going to have to figure out a way to disarm this thing without setting it off.
All right. So we can look into that real quick. Oh.
Desmond, with your passive perception, you hear faintly a pair of individuals at the top of the stairs. You can't make out what they're saying. They're whispering. You don't get the sense that they've been alerted to your location, but you do get the sense that it might be a good idea to close the secret door that's right behind you. If you want to try to do that, I'll have you make a sleight of hand check, please.
Yeah, Des will try to do it real quick.
Okay. And you do have an advantage, just so you know, from Scottish Jeff from earlier, if you'd like to use it.
Great. I'm going to hold off for now.
Okay.
And that was a 15.
Okay. Okay. You gently pull it closed. Everything goes quiet. The voices are no longer audible. And you're just kind of holding your breath. You can feel your heart just... Luarn, what are your thoughts on this trap?
I'm looking at it, trying to analyze it, see what I can do to disarm it.
Okay. I think it's a pretty simple trap setup, so you don't need to roll to figure out how to disarm it, but I will have you roll a sleight of hand to actually do the disarming if you should so choose. You probably have in your kit thieves tools, which likely include some sort of fine scissors or shears. Yep. Or some means of cutting the string, the thread that has been laid upon this trap, but also perhaps a way to do so in a manner that doesn't cause it to set off. Because the idea is once you snap the string, something happens, and we don't know what it is yet. But, but we'll have you do a sleight of hand to see if you can do this. You've done this kind of thing before.
I have.
And you do have an advantage from Scottish Jeff as well.
Sweet. Hopefully I won't need it. That's a 21.
Yeah, that's more than enough. You watch Nori as Luarn is down like on one knee, pulls out his kit, takes out his tools, and takes care of disarming this trap. And Luarn, you're very convinced that you did a great job of doing so. And I'm going to get rid of the trap. So it's not active anymore. But there is a door in front of you with a latch.
All right. Proceed through the door.
Okay, you're going to push it open.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you're opening the door.
This door is iron or metal, right?
Yep.
Okay, standard operating procedure. Going to oil the hinges if they're on my side. You said it pulls open towards me?
It pulls open, so
okay, so the hinges should be on this side.
Yep, the hinges are on your side.
All right, so I'm going to oil those things.
Okay. All right.
And pull it open nice and quiet and
And
slow.
before we do that, are you going to stay in the marching order that you're in right now?
I think so.
Okay. Yep.
Nori's going to tap Xanthi's head and whisper, SOP.
That's so cool when you can use acronyms. So badass. Okay. You pull the door open ever so carefully, and silently from the oil that you've placed, it swings on the hinges, nice and smooth like. You immediately hear voices.
Ooh. Okay.
I tell you, they don't pay us enough to be just sitting around down here. But I'm hoping we see some action pretty soon. Boss says we're going to be on the move shortly. That's good news. Yeah, well, they said that last week too. I just assume stay put and get paid, but it's not for me to decide. You're damn right it's not for you to decide. We'll do what they tell us to do and we'll like it. Now, deal them up. And you can hear someone shuffling a deck of cards. You heard 3 voices.
Okay.
You look inside as you peek around, and you can see that there is what appears to be a game of cards. A couple of individuals sitting at a table, currently unaware of your presence.
It looks like the room continues around the corner.
It does. It looks like the room continues around a corner.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like that light that's straight in front of us might be the only light source? Can we tell?
As you kind of look around Luarn, you can see, yes, there is a lit sconce just in front of you, but there is also light coming from somewhere inside this area. So there are other light sources, as best you can tell.
There's 3, and I don't know if there's any more around the corner. I whisper to my companions.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
How high is the ceiling here?
The ceiling here is probably 10 feet tall, roughly, give or take.
Okay. And that light is providing enough illumination for them to see where we are, like the door area.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It illuminates the entire space that you can see into at this point.
And from the gander that I got of these guards, are they human? Are they wearing any insignia?
You didn't have a long enough chance to see any insignias, but you do see that they appear to be human as best as you could quickly tell as you looked around the corner and then kind of pulled your head back. You can tell and you know that there are 3 of them sitting there playing cards.
I'm gonna wait for a little bit while they play, see if I hear any more voices like from around that corner.
All right, give me a perception check.
17.
Okay, you do hear another voice call out from somewhere farther inside. Hey, why you shut the fuck up so we can get to bed as shut-eye? Damn it. It's been a long day. The shift is almost over. Let us get some sleep. Please, you assholes. Ah, shut up. We're playing cards.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around to I'm gonna close the door, turn around to my companions, and say, there's at least 4. Sounds like there's more than 4. He said us are sleeping, so I don't know how many more are around that corner. This might be a situation where these are the minions, as it were. Maybe we just let them be. Maybe shut the door so they can't open it again. We go upstairs and see what's really down.
This could just be where they're resting, playing cards, sleeping.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
If we permanently shut the door, like we jammed it, they wouldn't be able to get out.
Yeah, we should make sure they
That's
can't
what
get
I'm
out.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna close the door. Yeah.
You think they're guarding something?
I think they are, but they talked about a shift, and they're just sleeping and playing cards down here. So I'm guessing their work is not here. The work must be upstairs or somewhere else. Is my guess.
It still doesn't explain the broken bones down here, but
it doesn't.
Yeah. Unless there's like a jail in there, so I don't know.
Maybe. But at least we know where they are. And we know that there's... Des, you said you heard some voices?
Yeah, there were more upstairs.
So maybe we take care of those guys first. They must be on duty while these guys are off duty. What do you think?
Just make sure, let's make sure at least we can control these guys. Hopefully we should, before we go upstairs, let's check and make sure there's no other exits down here to what's back there.
All right. This metal door, I'm gonna close it quietly and then see what I can do to jam it so that they can't open it.
What do you have anything in your inventory that might be helpful for this sort of thing?
I've got a rubber ducky. Let's see here.
It'll make a large.
I got a crowbar. I got extra daggers. I got a hammer. I got a pitons.
Yeah. You could use all that, but it will make noise.
What if I just sort of, since it opens out into the hallway we are in, if I put the piton sort of along the edge of the bottom of the door, as kind of like those safety door stops, just sort of wedge them just enough so that when the force of the door comes at them, they stick. So it wouldn't entail necessarily me hammering them, just sort of placing them strategically along the bottom of the door.
You
Force
could
them
certainly
open.
try. You could certainly try.
Channel.
Yep.
All right.
If you were to use some force, it would be more effective, and you know this. But if you're trying to be stealthy and you want to try to place them, I'll have you make a roll for that. It's just going to be a straight, we'll call it a sleight of hand roll.
Okay. All right. I will use the advantage that I've got.
Well, it'll be a straight roll for you, and with no option for advantage on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's really, this is on the edge of what you think will work.
Okay. Cool. Sleight of hand.
Yep.
All right. That's good. That's good. To 24.
Okay. That's real good. You get the sense that it's about as good as you can do without rousing their suspicions and sounding the alarm.
I would also like to assist. I would like to take the carafe of endless coffee out, and I would like to use my shape water cantrip to freeze coffee into the frame, and so it's like also like frozen, stuck shut. That'll last about an hour, I believe.
Okay. And it'll create a nice coffee-like aroma, which is soothing.
Which would probably smell a little bit better than the rest of what's going on down here.
Yeah. Let's be honest. It's not gonna overtake the refuse smell, but it's better than nothing. Okay, that sounds good.
Right.
You feel pretty good about that.
Back upstairs.
You're in front now.
Desmond, you're in the front of the pack as you begin to head up the stairs. Do you have any way to see? It is dark.
No.
You're gonna switch.
Yeah, I think at this point he might kind of motion for the other ones to come up front.
Right. I'll switch.
Yeah,
with
you
them.
can shift positions, no problem. Okay.
I'll just switch with Xanthi so I'm in front of her. We'll just do a
Still using her head as a walking cane.
SOP.
Yep. All right, so you get back into coming back up the stairs.
Yeah. What do we hear? Do we hear anything? Those guys?
Give me a perception check.
It's pretty good. 21.
Yeah, you do hear voices. It's muffled. It sounds like it's coming somewhere from to the east, if we're looking at the map here. So somewhere in this general area, you can hear muffled voices. You can see that there's an open walkway that goes around. There's a wall right here.
Sure.
An open walkway that goes over here. You can see that there's a cold hearth. There are some what appear to be maybe some vegetables in buckets, some apples, some meats on the table. You can also see that just next to Nori, and Nori, you would notice this too, there's a doorway right here.
It's probably the pantry, but should we check?
There's no harm in checking. We'll check the door.
Okay. And what are you checking the door for? It is a nice wooden door, high craftsmanship, very well made.
See if it's locked.
It does not appear to be locked.
Look for traps. If it's a nice door, there might be something valuable in there.
All right, give me an investigation check, Lauren.
Some really expensive fruit.
Not as good. 7.
You don't get the sense that it's trapped.
All right. Give it a go.
You're gonna open it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna oil the hinges.
Yep, SOP.
Yep.
You got it.
And open it up.
Okay. You open it up to reveal a welcoming room. Appears to be maybe a den of some kind. There's a couch, coffee table, bookshelves, maybe a little desk where you might sit and write or work on notes of some kind.
Turn around. Hey guys, prepare to feel welcomed. We go in real quick. There's nobody in there that I can tell?
No, there's nobody in the room.
Okay. I'll wave my companions in.
While things appear to be of high quality, there really doesn't seem to be much going on in this room.
There are exits. Is that an exit out of the room?
In fact, there are two different exits. There is a door here and a door here.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to this door and listen.
Okay. It is quiet.
We don't hear any more of those voices that Des heard earlier.
Actually, there's also a door, I would say, right here where Xanthi is. And Xanthi, you can hear voices on the other side of this door. Pretty audible.
Is this a paper on the desk here?
Yeah, I was gonna say Des.
Yeah, there's a book on the desk. It looks like there's maybe some sort of an ashtray with some snubbed out rolled tobacco sticks, piece of paper. Nothing here, as you kind of look at stuff, it doesn't seem to be, it's pretty mundane. Doesn't really seem to be anything that interesting in the desk or on the desk. On the, you maybe glance. Well, it's pretty dark, so Desmond, you're not really seeing much, nor is Xanthi. You guys are sort of just kind of walking through the room, hoping not to knock something over.
Now let me ask you this: is there light coming from the room where Xanthi hears the voices?
Yes, there's light coming up from underneath the crack of the door.
Okay, you could probably, if you need to, if you want to look in this room, you could probably put a little bit of light in here. They won't see it if they've got their own light.
Can I make out what any of the voices are saying, since you said they're pretty audible?
Yeah, you get the sense that they're talking about, maybe like a drinking, binge that they went on. Just kind of like mundane conversations that people would have about. I will say this. Well, give me a perception check. You don't get the sense that they are talking about anything that's super valuable in terms of information, but let's just kind of see if there's something that you pick up from them.
I rolled a nat 20 for 23.
I'm drinking too.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You hear them mention. They refer to somebody as the Enchantress. And one of them is talking about how attractive the Enchantress is. And the other one is telling them that if they're not careful, they're going to lose their balls. She can hear everything, he says.
And now the person that we're here to find, the name that we got, the Carlin Dieg,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a woman, correct? Carlin
He's not an enchantress.
is a male
No,
name.
that is a man.
Okay.
And you also get the sense, based on sort of the vulgarity and the cadence and accents of these individuals that you're hearing, that they are probably not of the social stature of the people who would live in a place like this.
So we think they're squatters, maybe, or are they servants?
I
Or do
think
they
they're
match the
mercenaries.
accents of those downstairs?
Yeah, but either way, they're with the guys downstairs, but are they squatters? Did they come to get Carlin Dieg and then stay, or were they employees of him?
The glimpse that I got of the guys downstairs, were they the guys playing cards? Were they wearing weapons, armor, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. Yep. They looked like they were well armed.
Yeah, I think it's a mercenary band that had some business here.
Yeah, either way, it's probably not good.
I don't think these are Carlin Dieg's men.
Or Karsts.
Or Karsts. You said it's quiet on the door that I'm at?
Yes.
Okay. SOP on that door. See if it's locked.
It's not locked. Not. It doesn't appear to be. Well, give me a check. Investigation. Yeah.
That's a 15.
Yeah, it does not appear to be trapped.
Okay. Same deal. I'm going to go ahead and open that real slow like. You said there's no light coming through here, so there should be another.
No, it is dark. Yep.
Okay.
You look in the room and it looks extremely empty.
That's just the rug. Yes, just a rug.
Yeah,
there?
you see a rug on the floor, and that's it.
Rug.
Yes. Well,
There's something under the rug.
That's the
there
thing.
could be. If there's no, this is extremely odd. So I'm going to take my rapier, and I'm going to stick it under the rug and flip the rug up.
Okay. Give me a strength check, athletics. It's a heavy rug.
All right. 19 on the die.
Okay. You slide your rapier under and you can flip over the corner of the rug. And this rug is like, close to 12, 15 feet long.
If I need to, I'll pierce it to give me some more leverage.
Yeah, you can kind of poke it and sort of flip over a corner of it, and it just appears to be a nice sort of teak wood underneath. The flooring matches the wood paneled flooring of the room that that you and your friends are standing in, although you're probably moved into the room about right there through the doorway. Yep.
Then I will start folding that rug up. This seems really unusual for this rug to be just hanging out in this empty room.
Yeah, you could like kind of roll it and
roll it
out of the way. Yeah. That's cool. You take a minute to roll it out of the way, and you look at the floor, and it just appears to be wood paneling. There's nothing. You don't reveal anything.
Unless it's a really well hidden door. I'll take some time to look in this room.
Okay.
Looking for secret anythings.
Yeah, the only thing that you find is that there's a window right here that looks out. So there's a little bit of ambient light that comes in, and that's it. There's nothing in this room. This room is empty.
All right. Highly unusual. I'll go to the other door. Tell everybody, I mean, you guys are welcome to do whatever you like in that room. That rug might be worth something, but kind of heavy. Go to that other door and same thing.
SOP, you're gonna check for locks.
Yep.
Give me an investigation roll. We'll do one investigation roll for locks and traps on this one.
17 investigation on the door.
Yeah, not locked, not trapped.
Okay.
Push it open. Okay. You push the door open, and as you get it about halfway open, now connecting the rooms, the one you're in with the one that you're about to reveal, you hear the telltale sound of snoring.
Both beds occupied?
One of the beds is occupied.
What does he look like? Or she?
Yeah, is it too dark to make out who they are?
It's very dark. They're in the bed and they have their back to you.
Is it a male silhouette, female silhouette?
Hard to say. They're covered in their blankets. It's pulled up, and they're just sort of. They stop breathing for a second.
Are they snoring?
Yeah.
Like sleep apnea snoring?
Yeah, definite sleep apnea.
Nice. All right, well that'll cover any noise we make, hopefully. I'm going in. I'm going to talk to this person.
Okay.
This is their best bet, I think. Everywhere else has got men who are awake, armed, and wary. All right, I'm gonna sneak in. Everybody to basically just gonna try to shut this guy, whoever it is, cover their mouth, and ask him some questions.
Okay. Who else is entering the room? Okay.
Yeah.
Xanthi.
This will go in. Yeah.
So we'll
Okay.
all go in.
Oh, everybody's going in.
I need some, probably need some assistance. So.
All right. Everybody, give me everybody give me a
help.
stealth check with advantage. And then a question for you before you tell me your stealth check. Do you leave the door open behind you?
Door?
Okay.
Stand back by Xanthi.
20 on the stealth.
Okay.
Just 15 for Dez.
13
Okay.
for Nori.
13 as well.
Okay. This dude is fast asleep. Does not rouse as you step forward. Luarn, what is your plan here? What are you going to do?
I would like to go to the grab a piece of cloth, maybe a pillowcase or something, and make a makeshift gag.
Okay.
And then position myself so that I can just put the gag in his mouth to sort of wake him up.
Okay. He's got it sort of his face turned away from you, sleeping on his side. You come up behind him.
Sure.
And you kind of slide the cloth into his mouth. He wakes up and he's choking and he's thrashing a bit.
Menacing. Everybody look menacing.
Well, first of all, it's pitch dark in here with the exception of a little bit of light that's penetrating through this window. So he can probably see your silhouettes maybe.
Or scowling in the dark.
Or like just basically see you, yeah.
Xanthi will light a torch. We're in an enclosed space.
I'll whisper to him and say, if you want to see tomorrow, be real quiet now, okay?
He just kind of nods.
So
As a side note, Xanthi or Nori is listening outside the room as opposed to inside to hear if anyone is coming into that room we just left.
Give me a perception check, please.
8.
Okay.
I'll be continuing to do that.
And
Sure.
Xanthi lit a torch in this enclosed
Okay.
room. Do we see anything additional?
Yeah. So you can see that draped over the end of the bed appears to be like a nice suit. Maybe a servant's, something that looks like something a servant would wear. You can see that there is a second bed. There are some foot lockers, probably the servant's belongings, and there are 2 wardrobes along the western wall. You get the sense that this is probably servants' chambers. And this guy just kind of nods his head as he stops struggling. He's still very tense. You can feel like his whole body is like flexing like tense as he appears to be extremely frightened.
Sure.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Gastro. Appreciate you.
I'm looking around now that I see the servants' clothes. I'm looking around for any armor and weapons in this room.
Okay. Yeah. You've got your hand kind of wrapped around this guy and you just kind of like do a quick scan. Give me a perception check.
20 total.
There is a dagger in a small sheath on the table next to the man's bed.
But this guy doesn't seem to be armed and armored like the guys in the house that we've seen.
No,
so far.
he appears to be maybe like in his nightgown.
Okay. How old does he look?
He looks fairly old. Definitely older than the group of people that you're currently running with.
I'm trying to sort of gauge whether this guy looks like a mercenary type or a servant type. Like, what does his hands look like? What does he have? Scars? Is he a big burly dude? Is he the kind of guy who serves drinks? No, that sort of thing.
Okay. That seems like either an insight or perception check.
Happy to do either one.
Okay. I think based on what you just described, we'll go with a perception first.
Okay.
And remember, you're sort of like overpowering the guy with your physical, abilities. So
I mean, I'm not that strong. That's why I was asking for help from everybody. But
Right.
Yeah, well,
but
that's
I
why
got
Dez
these.
is over there.
Yeah, I got the jump on him.
yeah.
That's a 14.
Okay. Yeah. It's again, it's difficult to tell while the man is covered in a bed and you're holding him down, but you don't get the sense that he's really fighting back or maybe doesn't have the capabilities. You look at the dagger, and the dagger, this is the thing that jumps out to you the most out of all of this, is the dagger looks to be not really designed for combat. It's kind of more of a ornamental, something you might pick up at a fancy shop, not necessarily an armor or a weaponsmith.
Okay. I look at him and I say, I'm going to take the gag out of your mouth. And you're going to stay nice and quiet, and you're going to answer our questions quietly. If you make any noises that we don't like, well, is this understood?
He nods.
Okay. I'll undo the gag.
You still have him pinned though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sort of weapons out, sort of looking at him.
Down, kind of.
Water.
A little bit of water. Is there
You
water
give him
nearby?
some?
Yeah.
You give him a sip of a water skin or something.
I'll look at Xanthi, since Nori's at the door listening. Would you mind? Thank you.
What do you want?
Are you with those men out there?
Those men out there? No, I'm not. Are you?
We'll be asking the questions for now. Did you work for Krieg, or did you come with them?
Dieg?
Dieg, sorry, yes, Dieg.
Yes? I just don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't intend to die here tonight, if at all possible.
We don't intend to kill you.
Oh, well, could you perhaps ease up then? You're crushing my... You're crushing me.
Sorry. I'm happy to ease up.
Oh, thank you. May I sit up? Because right now he's on the bed. He hasn't even seen you yet. He's looking at the wall because that's how he was sleeping.
Sure.
Oh, thank you. Oh, hello. He kind of swings his feet over onto the floor, so he's sitting on the bed, but he doesn't stand. Yes, I worked for Mr. Dieg. Is he back? Has he returned?
Back? When did he leave?
I mean, it's been a week at least. I've been continuing to do my duties in the manor, and in hopes that he will return. Have you dealt with the others?
Who are they?
I'm not entirely sure. No, they are not. They are not associates of Mr. Dieg. No, they are far too uncouth in their methods.
What are they here for then?
I must say, I am not the most informed in terms of what their motivations are, but they certainly have taken up, shall we say, a residence in the manor. There are more in the cellar.
We know. What is your duty here?
My name is, hear me. I am Mr. Dieg's personal...
I hear you just fine. What do you do?
No, the name is Hear Me.
Ah, I see.
Yes. I work for Mr. Dieg, and...
In what capacity?
Take care of the place, take care of his needs, cook for him, and help when he entertains.
Are there other servants?
Yes, there was.
Where'd they go?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but they've been gone as long as Mr. Dieg has been gone. I was, well, the benefactor of an unfortunate series of events where I came to work after a bit of vacation and found the place occupied.
And they've let you continue your duties?
Well, I told them I had work to do and that I would care for the place, and I guess they had no intention of doing those things themselves, so they let me stay. Or perhaps I should say they didn't let me leave.
Have you heard of or seen someone called the Enchantress?
The Enchantress. Well, I mean, no.
Is he lying?
Give me an insight check. Anybody can roll an insight check if you'd like. You're all equal parts in this interrogation, I would say.
That's 11.
10.
Okay.
And
13?
He seems to be frightened.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. I don't have much to give you if you're here to rob the place, or if you intend to do anything nefarious.
we are
Just
looking for
don't make a
Mr.
mess.
Dieg.
Please don't make a mess.
As my associate here said, we were just looking for Mr. Dieg, but instead we found his house occupied.
By the way, how many people are in here?
Good question.
A dozen, perhaps. They come and go. There are a number of them in the cellar.
And they were here when you arrived. When did you arrive?
Better part of a week ago, I guess. I was off on a bit of a holiday, and when I returned, it was... well, it was different.
I look at the ladies. Did they say how long he'd been missing at the restaurant? How long he hadn't been there?
I think she said a week.
The Jewel of the Velverdiva. You've been there. A wonderful place.
Mm-hmm.
One of Mr. Dieg's favorite locations.
Speaking of places to eat, what do you know about the pile downstairs? There's some very rancid meat and broken bone.
Yes.
What is that all about?
I believe it.
Person?
No. Thankfully not. It is, well, these current inhabitants are not quite as, mannered, shall I say, and they have made a mess of the place.
So it's just their dinner refuse.
They just
Indeed.
dumped their trash inside.
What a bunch of pigs.
Would it be...
Bums.
Yes, yeah, bums, indeed. Would it be okay for me to put on my robe? I do feel a bit conscious of my state, especially with the young women here.
I'll hand it to him.
We're all very casual.
It's nothing we haven't already seen.
He takes it from you, Lauren, and puts on this robe and pulls it tight, standing up for the first time to sort of adjust it and tie the belt around his waist. Oh, that's better. Oh, I'm sorry. And he sits back down. What do you intend to do with me then? You're not here to kill me, are you?
Nope, that's not what we're here for. But we might be able to make use of your services.
Of course. Yes.
Do you make food for these men?
I have made food for them, yes. You're not with the church, are you?
No.
Okay.
I've been quite some time.
Well, of course, you know Mr. Dieg has been at odds with Bishop Hoffren and some of the, well, what Mr. Dieg refers to as persecution from the Church of St. Cuthbert upon the people. Just making sure you're not agents, billets and the like. Although billets could crack some heads, I suppose, if these ne'er-do-wells are not motivated to leave by other means.
Yeah, they might be throwing their trash away in the house so they don't have to go outside and be seen by anybody.
Have they let on at all what it is they want?
It's unclear. They've told me that they're here to keep an eye on things, to security, but I feel as though Mr. Dieg would have said something, but I do know that he's uncovered some sensitive... I shouldn't speak of it. It's not for me to say.
I think that our goals kind of align.
I think this is the best time to say, as a matter.
You should say, because, you know, we could potentially get you out of here if you want to leave. I think these thugs are waiting for your, you know, head of the household. I don't think it's a good thing.
Oh, well... yes, well, Mr. Dieg has been, as I said, doing a bit of his own sleuthing about, and has uncovered some strange things happening at the Abbey of St. Cuthbert. Did you hear of the assault only 2 weeks ago at the Abbey? There was
assault. Oh no! Please do go on.
Well, I heard something went down. People weren't really clear about what happened.
Luarn, roll a deception check.
16.
Okay. Well, there was an attack at the church, and there were guards found murdered. But the peculiar thing about it is they were in the Undercroft. There was something going on down there that was unsavory. At least that's what Mr. Dieg believes, and
what's Mr. Dieg's interest in that?
It's unclear to me. He's never been much of a meddler in affairs, so to speak, but he has seemed quite motivated to dig something up on the church. I don't understand it. My inclination is to believe that perhaps the men in the other room and those downstairs are collaborating with whoever it is that Mr. Dieg is investigating. I fear the worst for Mr. Dieg. I hope you are correct, young lady, in your assertion that Mr. Dieg will return, but it has been a week and I've heard nothing.
What?
Just the comings and goings, the changing of the guards. Occasionally someone will come with supplies, food supplies, drop them off, and I cook and clean and carry on as if nothing has changed, but everything has changed.
I think maybe, for putting things together, that maybe the church was up to something and something bad happened.
Yes.
And a lot of people found out about different things, and now they're all being like, if you know what I mean.
It's quite an accusation, and it is nerve-wracking to think that
one of our friends is missing as well, which is why we came here. We were told that maybe Mr. Dieg would know, but he is now also missing. So you see, like, there's something really bad happening.
Yes, indeed, there is something quite bad.
I'm going to take Des aside and ask him quietly. Des, are you the type that deals in herbal remedies?
No, not really. I don't have anything like that
I wonder if we could get something. If he's serving food to these men, that'd be a really convenient way to take care of them all at once.
Can Nori hear this?
Sure.
Yeah, Des might know something that Nori might have.
I know a little bit about herbs. I'm just learning, but
Any way we can knock them out?
might be able to find something.
Poison.
The kind of
Give it
herbs
a
that
try.
could put somebody to sleep for a while.
Maybe. It's worth a try. It's a great idea.
Hey, I'm talking to the guy that's
His name is Hear Me.
Hear me. Hey, downstairs on the other side of that wall. Where's that lead?
I've never explored the full extent of the cellars, but they are quite extensive from what I understand.
Off the property?
Possibly connecting to other properties in the neighborhood as well.
They might be using this as a base now. To do whatever they're here to do.
I have a mind to just open this window here and just jump out and run away, but I have nowhere else to go. So I've stayed with the hope that Mr. Dieg will come and, well, everything will get sorted out in due time, but...
And have they been good to you? Or are they being assholes?
You see his eyes dart over to the dagger on the table momentarily as he looks back. I have avoided any sort of violence. I'm not much of a fighter, but I do have that blade in case something happens. I don't pretend to think that I will get out of it alive, but at the very least, perhaps I could take one of them down before I'm killed. It sounds terrible when I say it out loud. It sounded much better when it was in my head.
Oh, Hear Me, you're not going to do much with this thing. Just pick up the dagger. Is this a letter opener?
Honestly, you...
Let's give the man a little hope.
I
There's a chance you could get him if they are off guard.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
I
it
think
won't come to that, though.
I think the best hope is that you're already in. You're a man inside, Hear Me.
Well,
They put stuff in their bodies that you make for them. You know what you could do with that?
Do they let you just kind of move around the house on your own?
Yes. They don't see me as any threat of any kind.
And that is your greatest advantage, Hear Me.
Do they keep you out of any parts of the house in particular?
Well, the cellar itself has been, I've been told, off limits.
But Hear Me, you cook their meals.
I do.
Could you add something?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Like a
Nori's-
laxative.
For example,
That's one example of many.
Yeah, something that makes them like violently ill. Like,
Right?
or sleepy.
Or
I mean,
sleepy, ill.
Violently ill is messy.
I suppose it's
Gross.
possible, but I do not
I know
have
who these guys are.
the ingredients to do such a thing. And don't you think that they would taste the impurities in the food? I mean, I could try to do it. I could add some hot peppers and spice it up real good with some of that
Cover it up
that
with
special.
that.
Yes,
That's also going to take some time.
I'll need supplies.
That or
Look, did they ever
frontal
come
assault.
and go? Did they ever leave this
I,
these doors?
I've seen some of them come and go, usually under the cloak of darkness. Never during the day.
I
They don't
think
want people
if the properties are connected, by the catacombs, they might be using this place as a headquarters now, knowing that Dieg's not coming back.
I do hope that Mr. Dieg does return, but I do fear the worst. Let me show you something, if you will allow. He stands up slowly, just kind of like, he walks over to the wardrobe that Desmond you're standing by, and he just sort of like kind of nods to you to step aside.
Des will move over.
He walks a couple more steps over to the wardrobe and opens the wardrobe up. And he kind of crouches down a little bit, and he kind of leans in to the wardrobe. And he pulls something out, and then he turns really quickly towards you. And he's holding a piece of paper. And he hands it to you.
He's ready to stab him.
Jesus.
Paper.
You almost got shot.
Paper. It's just paper.
Paper cut.
He hands the paper to you. Whoever takes it, he just holds it up.
I'll take it. What is it?
It is a note. As you open it, you unfold it, and it looks as though it is a note from Kyle. Someone named Kyle has written a note that says, "Hear me. They've come. They've done something with Master Dieg. I fear I'm next. Kyle."
Where'd you get this?
My companion and co-worker, Jonathan Kyle.
Is that his bed?
Indeed. It was left under my pillow.
So he knew you were coming back.
Where's he right now?
I have not seen him since my return a week ago.
Because he's probably dead.
Do you think? No.
Stop doing that.
No.
We don't.
He was a good man. Jonathan was a good man.
No, he's probably not dead.
Maybe he got away.
He probably got away.
Like, you should get away he did. Like, it's not good to stay here. So, help us, and then we'll get you out.
Help us help you.
Oh, I mean, this is his home,
Yeah, where would I go? I've worked here since I was a young boy in the stables.
Have you ever thought about going into business as, a waiter or something? You really liked that fancy restaurant with the alcohol, right? The Velverdiva, they could probably use another person working there. Doesn't that sound fancy? You'd be around fancy people all day long. They charge so much. Think of the tips you would have.
While I appreciate your encouragement, I do feel as though it would be a bit of a pay cut for me to go work there.
Okay, so plan B, we can write you a letter of recommendation to Vandrin, who is another wealthy person in town, and then you could just work for him.
This Vandrin fellow, they are?
Very, very wealthy.
Or does Dieg have any next of kin?
I'm afraid he does not. His wife died 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago now.
Well, if you'll help us get rid of these guys in the house, then the place is yours.
Oh my. I wouldn't. I couldn't.
It would seem weird at first, but after a while it would be very natural.
I have no means to pay the tax, the tithe to the church. My only income comes from Mr. Dieg. I fear that I would be unable to keep the place running. Perhaps it could be sold.
It'd be a lot of money for you.
What? You buy a nice little country manor. You're of your own.
Retire. Garden.
Great. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Don't forget the goats.
We need to think about how we're gonna
goat
get
milk
out of here Right.
The
No,
window
that's true.
is right here. Should you need to leave,
Well,
Okay, this is my suggestion. We leave with the understanding that we'll be back to provide you with a little extra spice to put in their breakfasts. What do you say? Hear me?
I believe that anything is possible.
Good. So don't give up hope.
I shan't.
We'll be back.
All right, leave your window open for us. We're your only hope. You understand?
Hear me?
Hear me? Hear me? Hear me?
I hear you.
me? Okay.
All right. What do we think? Let's confer. So there's about a dozen of these guys. I think that might be the best way to whittle the numbers down. Do they usually eat all at once? Hear me?
No, in shifts.
In shifts. How many in shifts?
There are 3 shifts.
So you're serving how many men at once for breakfast?
I think in total there's 16. But they must be bringing in supplies from one of the other estates connected to the cellar, because they seem to have stock in the cellars itself.
Do they come up from the cellar to eat, or do those in the cellar stay in the cellar?
Some of the men bring food into the cellar once I've prepared it. I am not allowed beyond the stairs.
No, that's fine. You don't need to be.
So you feed everyone here. They just eat in different places.
I think so.
Okay.
But I can't say for sure. As I told you, I don't know exactly what is going on down there.
Well, that's what we're here to find out. Are there any upstairs?
There is, but it's currently unoccupied. Since Mrs. Dieg took ill and passed.
And Mr. Dieg had quarters
since
upstairs?
he left.
No, it's been 7 or more years since the upstairs has seen any life at all.
So he is a widower.
Indeed.
And
his bedroom he takes now is on this floor.
Is on this floor.
Near the front of the manor.
Have you been in his room?
It is currently occupied.
By
the one who seems to be in charge, at least, of the men who are keeping watch. A man by the name of Thurkle.
Thurkle. Have you heard them mention any other associates of theirs, or a name for their merry little band?
I have not. They don't seem to have one, perhaps.
These fellas have any kind of, common markings on them? Tattoos and whatnot? Do they have anything that makes them look similar?
Like a
of course.
black hand symbol.
Black hand?
Yeah, do they have black hand tattoos?
No, not that I've noticed, but I try to keep my head down and I don't try to cause any trouble. I know my place, but I do see things and I hear things, and they've talked quite a bit about death, murders. The Enchantress that you mentioned, I've heard that name, but I have not met the owner of it.
Does Thurkle take his meal in his room?
With the men.
With the men. What shift?
Well, it changes from time to time. If it is, what hour is it? They
3 a.m.?
Yes, it's super late or early.
We spent like 3 hours getting Xanthi sober in the courtyard.
It is likely that Mr. Thurkle is taking his rest, but There are generally 4 or more men that are awake at any one time up on this level. The upstairs has been shuttered. I do hear footsteps occasionally of the men going up the stairs to investigate, but I believe they're on some sort of a rotation of sorts, perhaps. I don't know all these things and strategies and SOPs and the like.
I think this Circle guy might be somebody we need to speak to.
I do implore you to take caution. I believe him to be quite a brutal man.
Guy.
Caution's our middle name.
Indeed.
Although he'd be a little bit less brutal if he had a little case of the runnies. Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, the laxative plan.
Or sleepies.
There's nothing worse than being asleep and having diarrhea. It does make a mess. I would prefer not to have to clean up after that mess, but I suppose you will.
Once this is all over, you'll be hiring servants.
We'll see what we can get. We might not have a choice.
Well, we'll throw.
Before we leave, can you point out where the room is? Where his room is, Thurkel?
Yes, he gets out. May I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He walks over to the wardrobe again and pulls out a small little box, sets it on his little nightstand, and opens it up. And there's some pieces of parchment, and a quill and some ink. And he sketches out the general layout of the building to you. There is I guess what you might call like a common room on the north end of the building near the front door. There's a hallway. He describes a hallway, and then to the north of the hallway, there's a large drawing room with a guest bedroom on the north wing. The south wing, he shows you where Dieg's bedroom is, including and identifying that that's Thurkel's, currently where Thurkel is staying. There is interestingly enough, a large, I guess you might call it a bath, that he points out that is a room in the middle of the building. And then between the rooms that you have already seen and investigated and the bath, there is a large hallway.
I'm going to ask, hear me. We were out back and we saw some of the windows were like bricked up.
Oh yes, in the back, the servants' entrance. Yes, it's unclear to me what happened, but the window was broken, and I cleaned up the broken pane and patched it up as best I could with a bit of plaster.
Someone was breaking in or breaking out.
I believe perhaps that it was a break-in situation.
We call that a B&E.
Is that what that's called?
It has definite SOP as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Vamp Wickman, for donating some advantages to all of us.
Sweet. Thank you.
Much appreciated, my friend. Get some rest.
What's up with that rug room right next to here?
Empty room.
Oh, curious.
Yeah, but why?
Well, there's nothing in it.
But again, why?
I don't know. I guess perhaps
stretches in there, maybe.
Yoga.
There's room for yoga.
I've never heard of this thing. What is this yoga?
Stretch. A lot of stretching and breathing.
Yes. No, I believe that at one point it was perhaps destined to be the nursery, but never came to fruition, and it was never furnished as such. The Madame and Mr. Dieg were never bore children for one reason or another.
Do you know the closest neighbor?
I do.
they friends with Dieg?
Well, in a general sense, I would say Mr. Dieg was on good terms with most of the people of the neighborhood. Kept to himself mostly, but... It's funny you say that, though. Prior to his departure or disappearance, he did... It seemed as though his personality had changed a bit, perhaps agitated more so than I'd seen him in quite some time, since his wife's unfortunate passing. Yes, angry and brooding. I believe it to be connected with whatever this plot that he's been preoccupied with. This Cuthbertian conspiracy, he called it, but I don't know such things. It seemed like it was none of my business to ask. I do feel as though he was troubled. His personality was different, changed. At times I found it hard to even recognize the man, but these are troubling times, so we do need to give each other a bit of grace from time to time.
Well put, hear me. All right, gang. Do we want to...
Yeah, well, I guess we sneak out. We get something.
When do you serve breakfast? And
Oh,
particularly to Thurkel.
Probably in a matter of hours. You can see the sky already beginning to brighten ever so slightly out the window.
Yeah, I think we should hightail it and then come back.
Let's do.
I will be here with the window open as you requested, and I will speak not of this encounter to the others.
And plan B, if everything goes to shit, tell them that you are expecting a delivery if you hear that somebody's at the door for you.
Ah, yes, a delivery of spices.
Indeed.
Yes. Very well. I will do so. Please do come back, though. I don't know how much longer I can bear to deal with these ruffians.
To sort of get the timeline for when he serves, like the shifts, what time he serves breakfast, lunch, dinner, that sort of thing.
Okay. So the intention is to leave at this point? Okay.
We want to sneak out. We want to go somewhere where we can buy either poisons, sleeping potions, something like that. And maybe even, Luarn's his friend had some of that shit in his place, right? Like, they broke into things all the time, so maybe they would have some supplies like that.
Or Nori could go for a look out in the weeds.
Check the verge.
For herbs.
Yeah.
Or some herbage.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's get everybody a quick stealth check as you take your leave from this place. We need to take a break, big time. So let's do this. Let's everybody roll stealth. Start with that.
27.
If you have an advantage, you can use it. Okay. 27. Nori.
Nice.
4.
4. Xanthi.
9 with advantage.
Oh, and Luarn.
28.
Okay.
This is what it usually pops.
Yep. So and you're going out the window?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so one by one you sneak out the window. Xanthi slipping slightly as you get up through the window, and the pane of glass cracks a little bit, and Nori, as you go through it, it shatters. And you hear me just say, "Go, go, go, go! I will take care of it. Just be gone quickly." And you just kind of he pushes you out the window, and you Nora, you're the last one out. You kind of fall out the window, land in the grass. You can already see Luorn and Desmond moving off towards the fence line and disappearing into the shadows, with the sun just beginning to cast a faint glow across the horizon. You have successfully left. As you turn back just momentarily, you look back at the broken window and you can see the door swing open and a light come into the room. And with that, you hop over the fence and disappear into the darkness. And that's where we're going to disappear and take a quick break so that we can get some refreshing our drinks and all that good stuff. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you to Vamp and to, let's see, Vamp and Scottish Jeff for the cheering us on. Thank you so much to Stronghold D&D for the gift subs to our community. We really appreciate the support, everybody. We are the Superior Adventurers Guild. This is the Heroes of Greyhawk, and we will be back in just a couple of short minutes, my friends. We'll see you shortly. Hello, everybody. We're back from our break. It was a good break, too. Hope you had a good break, because we did. Yeah. Hey, we're back. Here's a Greyhawk. Our heroes have infiltrated the Dieg manor. They have gathered some intel, including the fact that there is an underground complex called the Cellar, where there are perhaps a force of some size that is barracked there. There are occupants on the main floor as well who seem to be keeping a track of things, or at least that's what Hermie, the butler slash manservant slash guy who had all the information, had mentioned to the party. And the party came up with a bit of a plan rather than go in guns a-blazing like they do normally, which is blowing my dungeon master mind right now. They have decided to come up with a very clever and subtle plan. It's beautiful in its simplicity and its potential. The plan being to seek out some laxatives. Oh, it's still the Heroes of Greyhawk. I mean, what are you going to do? To perhaps poison the food that will be prepared for the occupants of the Dieg Manor. So,
like Grandpa always said, you can't fight with your pants around your ankles.
Well said, Grandpa. Well said. So we will pick back up as you have exited the Dieg estate. The sun is slowly rising in the high quarter of Verbobank. My friends, you have a couple of options in front of you. And Desmond would know that there are purveyors of herbal remedies and tinctures and the like, tonics and such, that could be visited. Xanthi had thrown out the idea of heading back to I think, the residence of Philodran Karst, perhaps to see if there was anything there, although you've already searched that site and didn't come across anything. Yeah. It's not entirely impossible.
Oh, we're looking for drugs, not for, like, evidence that he was kidnapped or coming back.
Yeah.
Who cares about clues now? Drugs.
But nevertheless, as your GM, I would just provide you with a little bit of information that you searched that place pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah. And so plus, I knew Karst to a certain degree. I don't know what his MO would be, but I would know if he was a user of poisons or anything like that.
That, and you also know that he has very regular bowel movements. Eats a lot of fiber.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he's probably good.
But Desmond would know that there are places around town, not in the high quarter necessarily, but places around town where you would be able to perhaps gather some herbs, and with a little bit of, I don't know, persuasion, could maybe gather some herbs that aren't usually in the front display case kind of idea.
Are we going for sleepies or are we going for runnies? What are we going for?
Probably even both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Whatever works, really.
Brutal, man.
We need to do it quick, right?
A lot of options. Like some might be not too, some might be resistant to one of them. So just hit them with both.
Hit them with both.
Sleepy and runny.
You know, that poor soul has proclivities to both. Well,
we might not make the breakfast rush, but we've got an in for lunch or dinner as well. So I think we take our time and find the best stuff we can.
Yeah.
Desmond, do you think that Desmond has ever been to Gnomeburg?
Gnomeburg.
Yeah, it's a district of Verbobank that is largely inhabited by gnomes. I mean, it is their sort of district. It is an area that's not frequented by non-gnomish people in general. It's a lot of people who have lived in Verbobank have never been there.
Oh wow!
That's where my sandals were made. That was with Diamond's
Gerald
aunt?
Diamond. Yeah,
Gerald Diamond's.
That's right. She did make your sandals.
Yeah. So I had to pick them up there. Yeah.
So at least Lauren has been there, certainly.
I would think that if anything, Des, if he hasn't been there, he probably has some sort of contact that he went through for like business.
I would say that Luarn, you do have a hero coin from last session that if you wanted to spend it,
let's do it.
It would quickly facilitate some action in this regard.
Consider it spent. That is a great way to spend it.
So you know a guy. In fact, you know a place, and this is maybe somewhere that you've been before. Perhaps, I don't know, but you know someone by the name of Thimblewort Cogspark, a gnome in Gnomeburg. Yep, Thimblewort. Yep. Thimblewort is the purveyor of a location or a business, I shall say, called Thimblewort's Tinctures and Tonics. It's an herbalist shop, essentially.
I know just the place, guys. Let's go.
Okay. So in the wee hours of the morning, the four of you make your way past the sleepy residences of the high quarter. You can see that some of the local businesses are beginning to open, or at least people are busying themselves with opening up their shops. You make your way further into the city, finding your way to the section of town that's referred to as Gnomeburg. Now, again, this location is not designed for the big people. A lot of people know about it. Very few people have been there. If you are a gnomish, so Nori, there's possible that Nori's heard of it, or maybe has some knowledge of it, but you've never been there, Nori. This is your first time to Verbobank, I imagine, the big city, as it were. It's tucked away in the shadow of the city wall. It's only a few blocks of like tiny half-buried structures. They're built similar to like the gnome warrens that you would recognize, Nori, from the Crone Hills. Trees that grow in this district almost sort of obscuring the enclave of gnomish homes, giving it a feel of a natural burrow within the city. Scattered throughout the wooden streets are a couple of small inns and taverns. Most of the gnomes live in these small dwellings excavated from the hills that are within the walls of the city. There's one location that Desmond would know of, and certainly Luarn would know, called Cron Hall, which is a tavern that is actually the one place where big people would not be burdened, because of the size of the doors will fit their size. The chairs, they'll have a few chairs on hand for big people, some tables that are larger for the big people. But in general, most of the establishments are not designed for full, human-sized individuals. They are designed for gnomes. Nevertheless, you make your way, Luarn, to this location, and you can see Thimblewort's Tinctures and Tonics. Doesn't appear to be open. The sign, of course, on the door says closed, but you can see as the sun is beginning to come up and there's activity. The gnomish people in this area are quite industrious, so they're up early taking care of the business that they need to, whether they're going to work, to work at the Royal Furiondian Mint, which is something of gnomish design, where they mint the coins of the realm of this particular region, or have other businesses that they attend to in Gnomeburg proper. You can see that there's some activity inside Thimblewort's Tinctures and Tonics.
Breakfast on the way, and if I know Thimblewort, I'll see if I can look through the window, catch his attention.
Yeah, you look through the window and you can see him busying himself, and you just kind of rap on the window. Mm-hmm. And he looks startled and he's got like a little candle. It's still dark inside the shop. He lights a lantern, and then another one as he blows out the candle, sets it down, and comes over to the door and opens the door. Now the door is small, so you're like down on a knee. Yep. Nori, it's perfect size for you. No problem, right?
Love it.
Yeah, but for the big people in the group, they're going to have to kind of kneel down and sort of look. And so Lauren, you kneel down, and yep. you see Thimblewarp Cogspark come up. Lauren, I didn't expect to see you this morning. What can I do you for?
Morning, Thimblewarp. Have you had breakfast?
There's no time for breakfast when you got to get the shop open. There's lots to do, and I still need to sweep the floors and tidy up a bit. But no.
I'll hand him an egg pastry.
He eats it ravenously. Oh, that's good.
Gotta keep the mind and body fed.
Did you get that at Gertie's stall down the road there?
Right down the way.
The best. So good. The best breakfast burrito in all of Gnomeburg.
Part of the reason I come here.
Of course.
Also, because you call me big, I love that.
You are quite big, and you have big. Oh, you have a gnomish friend. Finally, you're on the good side of things. Oh, hello.
Hi, this is Nori.
Pleasure to meet you.
That's a fine name, Nori T. Bibblespark. A fine name indeed. Well, hello. Well, look at you, golden eyes and the whole works. I like the whole thing you've got going on there, miss. And your friend. Okay. Hello.
Hi. How's it going? My name's Des.
Of course it is. Yes, of course. Well, come in. I'm sorry about the size of the door.
Oh, no, we're used to it.
And the ceiling and everything else. But come on in, crawl on in.
Also, I like coming here because it sort of helps keep my skills up to par. And it's like crawling through windows and shafts.
Of course it does. Yes, it does. It's a good way to look at it. Always look it on the bright side, Lauren. That's what I like about you.
Indeed, Thimbleworth. I'm so happy to see you. We'll have to catch up some other time, but we do have some pressing business. I was hoping to get some of your best tinctures. this morning.
Oh, well, I mean, all my tinctures are the best. You might have to be a little bit more specific.
Well, we're looking for something that could help with sleep and constipation.
Sleep.
Yes. You see, Luan's grandfather, he is like so constipated he can't sleep. So we thought we should get something for both.
He needs the most powerful stuff you've got.
A bit of a colon blast. Oh my!
Is that what you call it?
Miserable and cranky.
There's a rock that needs to come out, pretty much.
Well, but that's gonna hurt a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, he needs. We tried other stuff already. He needs like something pretty strong.
But we do have the gut burst special.
The gut burst special, is that your strongest available?
Well, yes, it will do the trick.
How much you got of it?
Well, I mean, sit tight and let me check the burst thistle. Yes. Okay, let me see here.
He has a terrible diet, so he'll probably need it multiple times.
Oh, well, okay. I'll have to prepare it. So I've got. It looks like here I've got. Yes, some of the these are. Oh, they're so beautiful, and yet they create such a mess. But yes, the gut burst thistle. Here we go, and he pulls some of these rather beautiful, though prickly yellow flowered plants that have been drying. They're all crusty and sort of like gnarled and dried. He pulls them down and he puts them in a small bowl and he starts grinding them up. You'll take a bit of just a pinch of this is all you really need for the normal person. But if they've got a rock hard turd that's gone sideways inside there, you probably need 2-3 pinches. And he's grinding it up. There's nothing more painful than a sideways turd, they say.
Just out of curiosity, what would happen if someone were to take a pinch?
Like 4, 5, 6 pinches.
Probably
like accidentally got in contact with it or something.
What do you mean, the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, like, I just want to be careful with it,
Well, if you take too much of this, I mean, it could do some serious damage to your insides. I mean, we're talking about inside out. You know what I mean? It's a terrible business.
That sounds just the exact strength.
It's to be avoided. Yes.
Right. We'll make sure that
we'll never do that.
We are the ones who do the dose, so that Grandpa doesn't just go, I think I can have more than this. You know how like sometimes older people are like, it's just kind of a a guideline.
Oh yes, I would. I mean, I would keep a close eye, especially if your elder is a little confused from time to time. It would be unfortunate to take too much of this because literally it could it could kill you.
How much do you have again?
We'll be careful.
Well, let's see. I mean, I've got plenty. For an old man with a sideways turd, you probably don't need much more than 2 or 3 pinches.
Oh no, I think we'll need more than that actually.
Well, who
am I? We don't want to come over here all the time. Like, we need a supply for a while.
We're going to be traveling to see some family far away from
They're
here.
Also old and constipated.
Also old and constipated. And if I brought some of this, to Jeff, where we're going, this could do a lot of country folk with bad diets a good deal of good.
Oh, well, you're not wrong about that. I mean, there's nothing more uncomfortable than being constipated and people.
Tell you what, I'll buy. However much supply you've got, I'll buy.
Oh, okay. Let me grind it up and get it prepared for you.
Excellent. Do you have anything for us? Insomnia.
Oh, it would help you sleep, kind of thing.
Yeah, something that'll knock you right out. Because nobody likes to just toss and turn with their lying in bed.
Yeah,
and a lot of people have trouble
if you have it.
And something that'll help you keep sleeping after you've already fallen asleep. It's one thing falling asleep; staying asleep, it's another issue.
Yeah, maybe if you, of course I do. But just be aware that if you're using the dreamer's root and you're using the gut burst thistle, you're liable to poop your pants in your sleep.
Noted.
We
Thanks for the warning.
in mind.
Well, I mean, you know, as the proprietor of this here shop, it's my duty to make sure that people understand the ramifications of you know, mixing some of these things. Well, okay, here we go. I've got and he holds up this bowl, and he's kind of like assessing it. I mean, it should do the trick. I mean, you've got, I don't know, maybe 10 doses here.
10 doses of the Dreamer's Wort?
No, of the gut bust thistle. You just mix it in a bit of water, some tea, a nice warm tea. Do you have enough to double that?
Well, and I'll take the gold coins out of the
well, for you, his eyes get big. For you, Duan, I would be happy to, you know, my supplier will be here in just a couple of days. I can get some more. So yeah. Let's see here, and he grabs a couple more of the sprigs off the hanging rack and throws them down and grinds. You've got about 25 doses here now.
That's my gnome. Love it.
Just be careful with it. Here you go. And he puts it in a small little jute woven bag, little satchel, and he pulls it tight and wraps the leather thong around it to kind of tighten it and seal it. And he sets it down on the table, and he says, "The dreamer's root as well. I mean,
about the same dosage."
Oh my, yes. Well, the beauty of this is when you take it, it has a gentle onset but quick, and it will help you if you are so inclined to explore the dreams. It does. Some say it provides vivid dreams indeed. Very, very nice, very, very nice dreams.
I love it. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Well. Okay.
I look forward to it.
Very good. He takes down the roots and he just kind of cuts them into chunks. He said, boil this in a water, warm water,
like a tea.
Yes, a tea indeed.
Excellent.
Do either of these have a really strong flavor? Do we need to put any sweeteners in them or anything?
Oh, I mean, they are quite distinct.
Okay, both of them are.
The root, indeed. The gutburst thistle is more subtle, but the root is think of like black licorice.
Oh, that's good tea. Good tea.
Your grandpa likes black licorice. We might not have to do too much to that.
Would they think it wasn't black licorice? If you had this for tea? Like, you know, if Grandpa's being like crotchety and he doesn't want to go to sleep and we're like, oh, have some black licorice tea, would he be like, oh, this is dream?
They don't like to take their meds. You know how it is.
I mean, the best policy it would be to have consent, you know, before you know, administering any sort of aperitif of these levels of power. But I mean, someone could mistake it for black licorice for sure.
Informed consent. I'm all about that.
It's the best policy. Now, is there anything in Luan else that I could interest you in? We did just get a nice shipment of some very fine pipeweed. I must say, grown in Cienega Valley, and it's quite good. My cousin actually grows it on his orchards as a cover crop, and it's turned out to be quite a nice blend.
Why not? I'm not sure when I'll be back here next. So yeah.
Well, very good. It's the Cogspark special blend.
We'll take 4 of those.
All in all, it looks like about 5 gold pieces.
5 all in?
All in, yes.
I give 10.
If that's okay. Oh my. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Thimbleweed. This is didn't expect it to take this little time.
I'm here to help. If I can know that I help to clear the pathway for a nice constitutional, well, it helps me sleep at night. Well, that and the dream root.
The dream root.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Is it habit forming?
The research's still out on that, but well, with any of these things, my gnomish friend, you need to use in moderation.
Everything is good in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Indeed.
Thank you, Thimbleweed.
My pleasure.
Yeah, Grandpa's going to poop so good.
And sleep
and sleep so good.
Not at the same time, though.
Great.
Well, he's having vivid dreams. Grandpa's gonna have a good night.
Thank you so much, Thimbleweed.
Well, of course.
A pleasure as always.
Well, we'll see you next time then. Thank you. Oh.
Enjoy the pastry. And we'll head on out.
Okay. You leave Thimblewort, tinctures and tonics. You are in Gnomeburg. You crawl out the door.
Yep.
And breathe in the fresh air. The sun is now up, and the streets are the hustle and bustle as they were. And what would you like to do?
I put my Gnomeburg knee pads away, and
Nice.
then I think now here's the as sort of a walk and talk. Now the thing is, do we want to sneak this to him, or do we want to make a delivery?
Well,
sneak it to him.
I think we can try to sneak, but if we find out that like that window is all boarded up now because it broke, we'll have to do the delivery.
I guess they're gonna let him deal with that since it's his window.
Yes.
Guess we'll find out.
Low on the totem.
Well, but if they boarded it up, he won't be able to open the window.
True. Plan B is a delivery, but Plan A, slip it to him.
Yeah,
Right.
Maybe, Des, what about Lucky? Could Lucky see if the window is, boarded?
Ah,
Is he still alive?
I think so. Hey,
Is
yeah,
he mad at you?
he's fine.
Who's lucky?
I might need to spend a little
Bird.
time to, call him back. If we have a minute at some point.
Yeah, we got till lunchtime at least.
Yeah, maybe just somewhere quiet where I can do that. We should probably talk about, or do we really want to, we don't really want to kill these guys, right?
No, they're just gonna fall asleep and poop themselves.
But
That's what
it
I
occurred-
understand.
It occurred to me we don't really even know who they were. I mean, what if these guys are Cuthbertians or they work for the Viscount or something?
They didn't
I mean,
seem that way
if
to
we
me.
make these guys just like shit till they die. I mean, we
You
could
make
be
it-
crossing a line that we might not be able to come back from.
Make it sound so ignoble.
I mean, I've heard they're assholes. All right, they're assholes. But
So appropriate, right? Yes, I'd say.
maybe they just make a
That
mess
doesn't mean that they need to be
rather than
killed, though.
shit until they die, like inside out. God.
Well,
Or-
hopefully
I
no one
mean-
drinks a whole pot by themselves.
I mean, I'd feel pretty bad if some shit himself to death. I didn't even know that was possible until we just walked in there.
The
Everything's
things,
a learning opportunity.
the things you learn in
Jesus.
Gnomeburg.
Here I was so proud of you guys at coming up with like a very conservative, strategic plan, and now you're gonna murder these guys by diarrhea.
I mean,
I love it. I mean,
it would
this
be
is
an
it.
accident if that happened.
It would be.
Literally, yeah, a literal
But,
accident.
Big accident.
I don't know
in their
nothing about
pants.
no tinctures.
we'll give him the right dose. Okay.
We'll give them enough to, what do we think?
You guys bought like a
We bought
quarter.
25 doses of both.
Yeah.
And
I
they
was
said
thinking
there was
a
like a
double dose.
dozen
12
people
people.
there. Yeah.
We'll have a
Dose.
little extra.
Yeah.
And we'll just
We'll
give
put it in the
Jeremy
T2.
the
I
right
was
amount.
thinking dose and a half, double dose for each of them.
Oh,
We'll
Of each?
Liberal.
nice one, Dan. Ugh,
All right.
Jesus.
unreal, you guys.
check out and see what the Windows condition is.
I can't look.
Okay.
Yeah, did we summon Lucky to check out the window, or are we doing it ourselves?
let's
Well, we
how,
don't.
how much light is there? What time is it?
It's before noon at this
Yeah,
point.
it's morning. Yeah.
Are there
I mean, if it's light out, maybe we should try the bird. Like Lucky.
You could, I mean, there's like coffee shops that are open. There's things happening. If you need to take some time to do things, you can take time to do things. It's totally up to you. Or are you in a rush because you're afraid that Philodrin Karst is somewhere inside that place and maybe in danger?
Yeah, I'd like to get the doses to him for
this is-
the lunch rush, if possible.
Yeah. I mean, this is
Give him time to work his magic. Like maybe he needs prep time. Need to
Just
get
sprinkle it
them
in.
to him ASAP.
Throw it right in there. Make a little bit of tea. Put the rest in the food. Good to go.
one of us will go in, try to deliver it to the window. Right?
Yes.
Well, we
And if they get
wanted
spotted-
Lucky
You
to
two.
see if the window was still useful or not.
If the window's still viable, yes, we'll do that.
Okay. So you're gonna take an hour to summon this familiar?
Yeah, I'll have to take an hour to.
I mean, each of you has different motivations here. Like, I would expect Luarn to be concerned about his friend.
Yeah,
I
that's why
think
wanna
I think
get
the
it-
rest of you, it's just like a mission for you. Maybe with a little bit of influence from Luarn's concern, but for the most part, it's like you're doing a job for your employer. So
Time is of the essence. I think though we can take an hour. but
yeah, okay.
For something like this.
Yeah, we missed breakfast, so we have to wait till lunch anyway.
Oh, I got some pastries. Didn't you get the pastries?
No, for the
Oh yeah, for the
criminals in the
guys.
house.
For the criminals,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we
Yeah,
don't
we-
miss our breakfast. No.
No.
Yeah, there's priorities here, Luarn.
Yeah.
Priorities. Yeah, breakfast burritos and
Egg
pastries.
biscuits
Yeah. All right, so we'll just sort of we'll kind of wrap things up here tonight by saying you spend some time maybe at a corner coffee shop outside of Gnomeburg where they have chairs that fit big people and coffee cups that are proportional to what you're looking for. Desmond is able to find some sort of area to cast the spell to summon his familiar. What does that spell look like, Desmond, when you cast the Find Familiar?
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of incense involved. There's, it's a ritual, so it's a bit of a spectacle, perhaps. But if you could find a kind of like an alleyway or something, you could probably just do it.
There are some little areas, especially in this part of Verbobonk, where
You could do a quiet.
there are some small little park-like areas, parklets, you might call them if you're hip, where you could do that. You could find a back alley area where you could try it there. It's up to you. Either way, you feel like you're going to be kind of casting a spell in public, which may or may not, garner some attention.
I've got a safe house. We can also go back to Karst's place if that's something we need to
Wasn't
do
that long of a walk.
indoors.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it took like
No.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
To get
that
in?
would be the safe.
Oh.
That would be the safest way to do it without
okay.
being
Let's do that.
observed.
We'll get
Okay.
we'll get some espressos because every coffee in Nuremberg is an espresso,
Mhm.
and take it to Karst's place.
All right, so you guys make your way to the espresso shop, then to Karst's place. Desmond casts the spell to summon Lucky, and with Lucky, you are going to do a little bit of a recon of the Dieg estate. You send Lucky out as you get close to the estate, so a place where you can sit down and look through Lucky's eyes, and as Lucky soars over the estate, swooping down and landing in a tree, kind of looking at the side of the building, you can see that the shutters, the wooden shutters, have been closed over probably the broken window pane. But there is a small yellow ribbon that has been tied to the shutter that is dangling and just sort of gently blowing in the breeze.
Hear me, you're our man.
He knows what's best.
Is that a signal?
I think so.
So?
I think just means pull ribbons to open window.
It's a good signal.
Pull the bright yellow ribbon.
With that knowledge, your intention is to pass the poo-poo powder and the sleep route through the window, and you are...
Give him write a little note so we don't have to actually talk to him if necessary. And write a note with the dosages.
Mhm.
Tell him what this does, what the dosage should be.
Not what it does, just what the dosage should be.
Right.
Like
What the
mixed
flavoring
with
is.
tea.
Yeah, maybe make this one into a tea. Maybe put this one in the food.
Mhm.
No, use your best judgment.
Who's going to deliver it?
I've got a fairly good stealth. Des, what about you there?
Yeah,
Unless you can
I could
turn
bring it
invisible.
I got a 9 stealth.
I got plus 11.
Okay,
All right.
go for it.
So one of you
Right.
roll a stealth check as you sneak in
Yeah, it doesn't
The-
sneak in.
over the wall, the fence line, taking care not to cut yourself on the sharp, jagged barbs of the fence.
24.
What's up, Armin?
Nice.
Hey.
24. Yeah, you hop over and you deftly make your way over to the shutters, and you're sort of like low on the ground. You put your finger up and you just open it a little bit and you toss it in and sneak your way back out. And for the moment, you have set in motion a dirty gambit that could end with a filthy situation.
A Sharknado.
Yep. Something I never anticipated, but I'm so in to see what happens next. There's going to be a run on the parchment paper at the...
And then the runs.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll end there for tonight because we've gotten to a good spot where we can pick up next week to find out what happens next. You have certainly put in play an interesting plan, my friends, and I'm excited to see what happens next week. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. Great to see a bunch of our friends jumping into the chat and saying hello. Thank you for the support and just hanging out. We really appreciate that. If you like what we're doing, please consider following the channel. And if you're following the channel, please consider giving it a what is it called? A sub? Yeah, consider subbing. And otherwise, just kind of hang out and get goofy with us because that's what we love most. We're going to go around the virtual table and do a quick outro. I'm going to ask my friends here to tell you where you can find them, what they've got going on. There's a lot happening. I also want to make sure that people are aware that we do have a giveaway going from our sponsors at CZRPG. We are giving away something called the Emberwood, which is a 5e supplement, higher level. So this is like a level 8, level 9 adventure that includes, all the lore, stat blocks, lots of maps. You know how they do all that stuff. And it's great to be able to just drop into whatever adventure you might be running at that higher level. Great maps, great content, great people, and awesome sponsors. So we're going to give that away in just a minute. I encourage you, if you haven't already, to enter to win, !drawing to get in on that. And we're going to give that away in just a second. And stick around because after we do that, we're going to raid into some of our friends. So with that all said, let's go to Jose first. Jose, please tell us what you've got going on, where we can find you, and all that good stuff.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jose. I am a TTRPG artist, amongst other things. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram, Judge Ortiz Art, and working on a few projects, one of which Dave is going to be involved with fairly shortly here, and really excited about that. It's going to be kickstarted later this year. And yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Jose. Great to have you as part of the Heroes of Greyhawk. We've played a bunch of times, and now you've been pulled into this crazy plan. So we will have Jose back next week to continue.
Yeah, and shout out to Armin and Jerry, the late Jerry Diamond.
That's true.
Being inspiration in this session.
Oh my God, for sure. If you haven't seen The Eye of Twilight, which is on our YouTube channel, and I think we have, there we go. Go check out our YouTube channel. There is a one shot that we did maybe a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. Ashley was in it. Korg, the Mighty was in it. Jose and Armin and myself, and it kind of has a little bit of background for what's happening now in this particular narrative. So go check that out. Always a pleasure, Jose, and I'm glad that we'll have you back next week. So stay tuned, my friends. We're going to have more Luarn. And let's jump over to Shelly.
Hey, yo, it's Shelly. You can find me out in the world at Flea Monkey or Flea Monkey 2 if you are on Twitch. Also, hey, it's Flea Monkey on Threads and Instagram. If you want to see my face, you can find me here every Tuesday. You can find me every Wednesday on Tithalanos' channel doing a little Pathfinder 2E, and then on Thursday back here with Ashley doing The Undying Sky.
Thank you so much, Shelly, for being here and for being awesome. It's such an awesome privilege to play with you, and I'm glad that you didn't kill me across the Shadow Dark table at GaryCon, because literally, folks, I thought Shelly was going to jump across the table and kill me.
There's always another time.
Yeah, that's true. It'll happen eventually. If anything happens to me,
we'll call Shelly.
Yep. Speaking of Undying and skies and amazing creativity, let's jump over to Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley. You may know me as Minnesota Muse. I'm Minnesota Muse on our Discord and on Blue Sky, and I'm Minnesota Muse 99 on the Threads. You can find me on Tuesdays on this channel, or Thursday as I DM the Undying Sky for March, April, and May. Just a short little mini campaign. And I believe you can find me this Sunday, March 31st at 7 p.m. EDT. I will be on Lord Gazumba's channel for an interview, a round table discussion about women DM.
So cool. So cool. Ashley, thank you so much. It was so fun playing games with you at GaryCon. I can't wait till we can all be together in person again playing games, because honestly, that's the best way to do it. So thank you so much. Last but not least, let's jump over to Andy G. 3D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy, also known as Andy G3D here on Twitch. I don't really hang out anywhere on the internet, so come and find me over on our Discord server, because I'm always on there pretty much.
Hell yeah.
Because I work from my living room as well. So yeah, you can find me here every Tuesday night playing Dez. Thursday nights playing Gren in our Undying Sky. Come check it out. We have a lot of fun too.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Andy.
Also mention one more thing. Shiv's Tales of the Whisperwood.
We will. We're about to mention that. Yeah. So before we do that, though, I want to give a quick shout out to Vamp Wickman, who is also a hero of Greyhawk, taking a couple weeks off because Chad has been busting his butt on the GaryCon stuff. He's very heavily involved in that. Yeah, and he does a great job. He will be back in the coming weeks, so don't fret. We're going to be bringing him back, maybe even next week. We'll see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to having Vamp back. You guys know who I am, Dungeon Dave. You can find me generally over at the Discord channel. I encourage you to, if you like us and you like what we're doing, you should come over and hang out with us, because there's a lot going on in Discord, including other games that are not played on stream, but are played kind of in our home game environment on the Discord. So check that out. And Shelly, I don't know, why don't you plug the Shivs game? Go ahead.
Well, I kind of just did, but
yeah. But tell us what's up.
Well, okay, so part 4 of this 4-part awesome
and thank
story
you so much, Shelly. Really appreciate that. And you'll have to join it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm done. Peace out.
Yep, that's it.
Table
This Saturday, yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah. This Saturday, Shiv will be coming back along with Shelly, myself, your boy Big, and
Tony Shaw.
And Tony Shaw. It's been a while since we've played, so you're gonna want to be there because this is the big finale. The shit's gonna hit the fan. I don't exactly know what the hell we're gonna be doing, but it's gonna get crazy because Shiv has got some awesome stories to tell. It's been really fun. If you want to catch the previous 3 episodes, please go to our YouTube and check those out and prep yourself for Saturday because it's gonna be gnarly.
Prep yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's right. It's going to be so good. A lot going on here at the guild this week. This is a big week for us. So hopefully you'll join us for some of that. And all right, so let's talk giveaways. We've got the Ember Woods giveaway coming up in just a few seconds. If you want to get in on this action, it's very simple. Andy's going to show you how to do it. All you have to do is type !drawing and you'll be entered to win some epic loot from our sponsors at CZRPG. We're going to give that away, and then we are going to raid into some of our friends. So here we go. Ashley, if you wouldn't mind, please, giving us the 5-second countdown of death.
Why, I would love to. All right, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Rolling. Oh my God. Cardman 2467 has won the giveaway.
Whoa.
Cardman.
The luckiest man on Twitch.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Cardman, are you still
He
here?
knows the algorithm. He's manipulating the algorithm.
Old rascal. Yay. All right, Cardman, I'm going to hook you up with some sweet, sweet loot. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us and being here, Cardman, and others, everybody who joins us. I love keeping an eye. I keep like an eye and a half on what's going on with the stream, and then a half an eye on the chat. And I love what I'm seeing because you guys are goofier than hell. So thank you for that. Congrats to everybody who's hanging out with us and getting goofy. All right, we are going to raid into. Let's see, who are we going to raid into this evening? There's so many good people to raid into. Let's raid into our friends at Perception Studio. It looks like they're just getting started. So let's initiate raid. Guys, really appreciate you. We're going to go to the end screen here, but we will see you on Thursday for the Undying Sky. We'll see you on Saturday for the Tales from the Whisperwood, and then we'll be back here, friends, for more Heroes of Greyhawk on Tuesday, like we do. We'll see you later.